Alright guys, JayBuc here with another episode of Game Tech, and I want to talk to you about something we talked about last week. Last week we talked about console insecurity and the arguments about PC dying. The week before then we touched on why people talk about things in situations they don't know about. So this is a follow-up video to both of them, just because it seems like more news have just came out. So, last week we talked about the amount of people on Steam. At that point, when I posted, it was 8 million people who were on Steam at one point throughout the day. And on March 15th, we've seen a peak of 9 million users on at the same time. So, we talked about the issue where people were saying that the PC isn't a viable console, or platform rather, and that the entire platform was dying out and wouldn't be usable in the next few years. And I just made this video to say you were wrong, and you were especially wrong because of all the points that I brought out that no one will respond to. We discussed the shift in architecture, how the PC has a certain architecture and always had an architecture that wasn't close to the last generation, and why games before last generation were able to be ported over to PC and able to be ported over to consoles when they were made for PC. So those arguments were never responded to. Another argument that people want to bring up is piracy, and I never really touch on piracy because it's only an argument that came about in comments. So we heard the arguments last week that games shouldn't come to PC because of the chances of piracy, and especially when you're talking about Gears of War or other games that particularly they said wouldn't come out because of piracy, and we're seeing that model change again. So for any of the media that can be used offline, or offline access can be prevented, then there is a risk of privacy. And that's on any type of thing that can connect to any platform. That's Android, that's a console. As soon as the next generation firmwares get leaked, they'll be able to decrypt those and figure out how to put modded games onto these consoles, just like we did with the Xbox, just like we did with the PlayStation 2, and so on and so forth. So this week we saw this argument fail because of Skylines cities sold 500,000 copies in just a few days. So everything you thought you knew is shifting. And just remember that I said why you were wrong, and I told you that you were wrong. JayBuc signing out. Like, comment, subscribe if you liked the video, and I'll catch you next time. Thanks.